IPMNation.com.
Hi, this is Dr. Jack, and you're listening to The Planet 100.1 FM, local Outbreak on IPMNation.com.
Outbreak on IPMNation.com. This is Matt from IPM Nation, and we are, of course, at the studio as we record the show every Tuesday night. The studio in downtown Laconia, 50 Canal Street to be exact. Funky little gift shop and art gallery. Come say hello to Melissa. Please support your local businesses as well as local music. Very, very important. StudioNH.com is the site if you want to check it out online. And, of course, we are also sponsored by Central NH Events. If you need a DJ for your event, go to centralnhevents.com. Mr. Tim Martin does a great job. Centralnhevents.com. And, of course, Tweak Sound and Mastering. Matt Marcil, who also is an important part of the show, one of our sponsors. Tweaksound.com is the website if you need some recording done. He has a phenomenal studio there. And visit him. And also, of course, we do have our new, going up this week, our new 24-hour streaming live station on IPM Nation, sponsored by Uptown Auto in Manchester, New Hampshire. Mr. John Heichel at Uptown Auto. If you need some work done on your vehicle, he's the only person I take my car to. He's the only one I trust with it. And this week joining us, our guest is Dr. Jack. How are you, sir?
I'm great. Nice to be with you.
And welcome to the show here at the studio. And you play a lot with a recent guest, Paul Hubert, who was on the show a couple weeks ago.
Yes, Paul and I are pretty good friends. We see each other 2 or 3 times a week.
That's a lot.
Some open mics. Yeah, well, we get around and try and hit some of the open mics in various towns in central New Hampshire. It works good.
Yeah, very cool. And you're going to play, we're going to hear some tracks from your disc tonight. Death of the Moon by the good Dr. Jack. Is this, how new is this release?
I'm sorry?
How new is this release?
That came out in January of last year.
Oh, okay. All right.
2014.
Very cool. So why don't we play something from this, and then we'll come back and chat. Really looking forward to talking from you because you've been at this a long time. So I'm sure you got a lot of good stories and a lot of insight to share. What do you want to play to start the show?
I would do the very first cut there, which is Dark Side of the Moon. It's sort of the signature cut on the album. All right. Is this a cover or is this... No, all of these are originals.
These are all originals. Album. Okay, excellent. All right, so this is Dark Side of the Moon from Dr. Jack here on Local Outbreak on IPM Nation.
Moon is shining bright for you tonight, but it's not the same for me. Moonbeams rain upon your face tonight. The glow can't bring you back to me. I'm on the dark side of the moon tonight. I'm on the dark side of the moon again. It's cold as ice and black as coal, like the night. I'm on the dark side of the moon tonight. I'm on the dark side of the moon. I'm on the dark side of the moon tonight. I'm on the dark side of the moon again. It's cold as ice and black as coal, like the night. I'm on the dark side of the moon tonight. I'm on the dark side of the moon. Life can deal you all the cards that you want. Sometimes the Queen of Hearts prevails. cannot find her way. She's on the dark side of the moon tonight. She's on the backside of the moon. On the dark side of the moon, can't you see? I'm on the dark side of the moon again. It's cold as hell and black as coal, like the night. I'm on the dark side of the moon tonight. I'm on the dark side of the moon. Feels like winter in the summertime. Feels so cold that I could die. You took the moonbeams when you left that night, never given the reason why. I'm on the dark side of the moon, can't you see? I'm on the dark side of the moon again. It's cold as death and black as coal, like the night. I'm on the dark side of the moon tonight. I'm on the dark side of the moon. The moon is shining bright for you tonight, but it's not the same for me. You took the moonbeams when you left that night, never given the reason why. I'm on the dark side of the moon tonight. I'm on the dark side of the moon again. It's cold as ice and black as coal, like the night. I'm on the dark side of the moon tonight. I'm on the dark side of the moon.
Local Outbreak on IPM Nation. This is Matt from IPM Nation, and we're here at the studio tonight with Dr. Jack. And Jack, so we learned, or I learned when I talked to you on the phone the other day, that you've played in the past with the owner of the studio here, Melissa.
Yeah, I mean, we've been doing, before I moved to Belmont, New Hampshire, I lived in Laconia for quite a few years, and on Thursday nights we'd get together and do sort of a musical jam outside on the main street.
Yeah.
Outside of what was called the downtown deli. And she'd bring her ukulele, and everybody else would bring their guitars and banjos and mandolins, and we'd jam every Thursday at about 6 o'clock in the evening. It was really fun.
No kidding, yeah. So was it kind of a free-form thing where whoever showed up, and you probably kind of never knew what you were going to do with these, right?
Exactly. It started off with 2 or 3 people just sitting around playing acoustic tunes, either originals or cover tunes, and then expanded to many other players who would just show up, and we'd sort of roundtable it and see who had a song they wanted to play.
Yeah, I'm always fascinated by that kind of experience because I've never done that. You know, all the bands I've played in, it's like, okay, you know, we learn the songs and we go out and play these tunes that and the type of bands I've been in. I've never been in a band where you kind of have that that sort of flexibility, you know, to bring in other people and see what they contribute to a song or whatnot. So that's really cool. And how many years did you do that kind of
Well, we did that
format?
for 2 or 3 years, I think, as I recall. And then it just changed over the years.
Yeah.
And some people moved on, moved away, and I moved from here to Belmont, New Hampshire. And I would participate when I could, but they ran it during the summer for quite a long time. The whole idea was to generate some interest in having people come downtown to visit some shops.
Yeah.
And to buy some really good gifts downtown, and the way to do that was to have some music in the streets, and it would draw a nice little crowd. People got into it.
Yeah, excellent. And why are you Dr. Jack? Are you an actual doctor? Are you an MD?
I'm not an MD. No, I have a PhD.
Okay.
I have a PhD from the University of Massachusetts in the veterinary and animal sciences.
Oh, no kidding.
So I'm not a vet, but I do research by day.
Oh, wow.
In the biological toxicology field. And at night, I relax with music.
Yeah. And how long have you been playing? How long have you been involved in music?
Oh, God, a long time. Decades. Absolute decades. I was in a couple of folk groups in the 1960s. And from then on, I played banjo back then, and I switched to guitar in the 1970s.
Yeah.
And from then on, I've played pretty much guitar full time.
Okay. And I think off air we were talking, you've done 7 solo albums, is that correct?
I have.
Okay.
Counting the new album, yes, I've done 7 albums.
Okay. And have they always kind of been that folk style, or have you done different things? Or
Well, it's pretty much adult contemporary, or today I guess they call it Americana.
Yeah,
but, it's easy listening, sort of put your head in the oven music, you know. Music about love and love lost.
Right.
Like many artists out there, there's some really nice love tunes.
Yeah, I think Americana is a good thing to tag it as, because it's such an interesting genre, and there's a lot of it's one of those terms that gets used to encompass a lot of different kinds of things, but that are acoustic based, and kind of that rootsy sort of I don't know if stripped down is the right word, but things that you hear in that genre tend to have a certain production quality to them they're not overly produced, they're not too glossy. It tends to be a little rootsier, which I think makes it interesting to listen to. It's not overwhelmed with a lot of the electronics and things that you hear in a lot of recording today.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, when you look at some of the top performers today in rock and roll, whether it be Springsteen or Van Morrison, those guys started off pretty much as folk artists in many ways, playing acoustic.
Yeah.
And even recently, one of the newer albums by Springsteen is straight acoustic. It's so basic that there's hardly any backtracks at all.
Yeah.
So
that's really cool. Has your approach to recording changed at all?
I think I've matured. I think I just do a better job. And when I get in the studio, I've always had the control, whether it be recording or mixing or the final production or album design. I get involved from the beginning to the end. So it's a year and a half process once you start.
Yeah.
People don't realize how much time goes into recording a song.
Absolutely.
But for every hour you do recording, you probably do that much time mixing.
Sure.
The final tracks. And on this album, on the new album, we spent a year and a half on this. And I say we because my daughter has a piece on there as well, Stephanie.
Yeah.
Who's at the University of Vermont. And she had written an instrumental, which we decided to throw on the album just for the heck of it, and it turned out beautifully.
Yeah. Oh, very nice.
I hope we play it tonight, actually.
Sure. Oh, if you'd like to, that's completely up to you. We'll play whatever you want. Yeah. So it sounds like, because you had talked about the control and the different aspects of it. So I assume everything you've done is self-produced?
Exactly.
Okay.
Right. Yeah, I've always gone out and sought the right studio to do it in, and hired the right players to do it.
Yeah.
So it's not in a garage, not in a basement, but in a professional studio. Years ago, we did it at Eastern Sound and Video down in Methuen, Massachusetts, but then they closed. And more recently, I use Rocking Horse Studios in Pittsfield, New Hampshire with Brian Coombs. He does a spectacular job in a renovated barn with a totally professional studio.
Sure.
And access to many guys out of Berkeley School of Music, as well as local musicians from the Dover, Manchester, Concord area. These guys are excellent. So anybody that you need, he has access to. And then I throw in a couple of my own friends to augment the album.
Sure. And, we were kind of talking off air before the show, and that's a name, Brian Coombs at Rocking Horse. That's a name that comes up a lot on this show. A lot of the guests we've had on the show have been recorded by him at that studio. So, I personally have never had the honor of meeting him, but always happy to give him a shout out because it seems like a lot of our guests are really happy with what they get from working with him at that studio.
Well, he deserves a lot of credit each year. The New Hampshire, whatever music group they have that does awards, he gets nominated quite frequently for Producer of the Year or Studio of the Year or whatever. And he does very well. I think last year he won, actually.
Oh, okay. Good for him.
So he's got quite a name for himself, and he draws an awful lot of musicians up from Boston and bands of all types that utilize his studio for professional recordings.
Sure.
So everything you ever need is in that studio, and it's hard to believe he's basically in the woods of Pittsfield, New Hampshire,
right.
which is not known for a whole lot over there. But,
right, that's true. That's true. But at least what it is known for is something positive. That's great.
Yeah, no, he's done a fine job.
Did you always have that, because over the course of all the years you've been doing this, recording 7 albums, did you always have from the beginning that sort of ideal that you wanted to really be in control? Or because I know some people, when they first start out, like that first recording experience, they're kind of nervous and uncertain. Sometimes the engineer becomes like a de facto producer. And did you always from the beginning kind of have that confidence to...
Yeah, I never had a problem with that at all.
That's good, yeah.
What I learned over doing 7 albums, though, is that at some point, it's really, if you're a songwriter, if you're a performer, and you're recording, you have to have outside input on your music, because people from the studio are in this day in and day out. Mm-hmm. They know which direction the music industry is going in. Yeah. So it's best to let go of your music, even if you're a young, energetic songwriter.
Yeah.
Eventually you say to yourself, okay, I've done my part. What do you think goes here? What instruments do you hear should we add as overdubs to this?
Yeah.
And they often have great suggestions you hadn't even thought of.
Sure.
In one of my songs, we did a French horn, and we didn't have to synthesize it. Matter of fact, on the new album, there's only probably one track on my daughter's instrumental that is synthesized. Everything else is live.
Oh, no kidding.
And we brought in a French horn player from Guilford, New Hampshire, and she was wonderful. And I told her what I wanted to hear, and she played it note for note.
What's her name? We can give her a plug.
Yes. Yeah, I'm trying to recall now.
Might be is it in the credits?
Yeah, it should be on there. I think the last name's Jackson, I think.
Oh, and what? I'm sorry. What did you say she played? The cello?
French horn.
Oh, French horn. Looking in the credits here.
I only met her once.
Oh, Robin Jackman. Okay.
Robin Jackman. She's superb. She's not only a teacher of French horn, but she hires out and plays on many recordings at Rocking Horse.
Oh, very nice. Excellent. Yeah. Excellent. You use that phrase you use. I don't think I'd ever heard that before, but that's interesting. You have to be able to let go of your music,
right?
In terms of allowing other input. Is that difficult for you?
No, not at all.
Was it in the beginning, though? I bet it was, right?
No, I think in the beginning everybody thinks, hey, this is mine and I get the final decision. Well, you do get the final decision, but you should really let other people give you some input, because they may have more experience than you do.
Yeah.
And they may even suggest a tempo change or a whole different instrumental or the speed or whatever you want to do on your song.
Yeah.
Their suggestions are critical as to whether that song will end up as a really good production.
Yeah.
So my advice to young songwriters, because I've been doing this for probably 40 years, is to let go of the music. Once you can lay down your basic track, but then let the studio people help you out in terms of augmenting what you've already done.
So in the course of approaching it that way, do you find sometimes that when you write a song, what you envision, what you hear in your mind, isn't necessarily what the final product ends up being?
It's actually going to be very close.
Yeah.
There may be an instrument added that you hadn't anticipated.
Sure.
That became a suggestion. For instance, on a couple of our tracks, we added a cello. Yeah. I had no access to anybody that played cello, but the studio did. And it was wonderful. Yeah. It just added so much to 2 or 3 of the songs.
Yeah. Yeah.
In the end, though, I did actually tell people like the cello player or the French horn player what I wanted to hear. I would sing it out.
Okay.
And then they would play that note for note.
Yeah.
Because I play by ear. I can't read music. So when I write,
same.
I know basic music theory.
Right.
I know what chords go together and which ones don't.
Yeah.
But in the end, I can't read a note off a sheet of paper.
You and I are in the exact same boat there. Yeah. Yep. Same with me. Same
Hey,
with
it
me.
still works. We can get it done.
I tried to learn. It didn't make sense to me.
I didn't even try. Okay?
Really? Yeah. Yeah. Well, if you don't, everybody approaches it their own way. If you don't,
Right.
exactly.
Exactly.
If you don't need to do it that way, do it your way.
You'd be surprised how many professionals don't know how to read.
Sure. Paul McCartney is a classic example. He never learned
Really?
to read music. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Yeah. Apparently, that's what he claims.
Oh,
Well, why don't we let's play something, Jack? You have your album here that you brought, Death of the Moon. What do you want to play next?
well, I wrote a song for the marathon bombing, and
Oh, really? Okay.
it was meant to inspire people. And we were hoping it was going to get a lot of airplay this past marathon because it was the first year after the event.
Yeah.
But I wrote this song shortly thereafter, the horrible experience in Boston, as something to rejuvenate people to finish the race.
Oh, cool.
So it's
Okay.
called Hey Boston, Finish the Race Now, and I think that's appropriate to play.
Okay, absolutely. All right, so this is Hey Boston, Finish the Race Now from Dr. Jack and his album Death of the Moon here on Local Outbreak on IPM Nation.
Hey Boston, you've got heart. Hey Boston, you're not alone. Hey Boston, restart your heart. You got a beat that must go on. So finish the race now. Hey Boston, finish the race now. In the morning light we see patriots running to be free. See the sun upon the street now. Hey Boston, finish the race now. Hey Boston, finish the race now. Hey Boston, you got pain. May your spirit never wane. Hey Boston, with you we stand. We're all patriots in this land. So finish the race now. Hey Boston, finish the race now. In the morning light we see patriots running to be free. So grab your bootstraps and a smile now. Hey Boston, finish the race now. Hey Boston, finish the race now. See the flags upon the ground. They're all victims in the crowd. So grab your bootstraps and a smile. Together we can finish the last mile. So finish the race now. Hey Boston, finish the race now.
Local Outbreak on IPM Nation. This is Matt here with Dr. Jack at the studio this week. I'll remind everybody, too, the studio is, of course, in downtown Laconia at 50 Canal Street. So come on down. Very happy to have this space to record the show every week. TheStudioNH.com is a website if you want to check it out. Very cool place to shop. A lot of cool stuff in here. Most of our guests end up buying something before they leave. Not all, but Jack, of course, knows Melissa from way back and playing music. And what do you do? You mentioned you play with Paul Hubert quite a bit. Who else do you play with in the local scene on a regular basis that you want to mention?
Well, a number of us show up at local places in Meredith and Ashland and Bristol, and sometimes we just jam together. When I say play together, it's really they may accompany me or I accompany them, but some of the key players are Glenn Leathers from Meredith, and he's really versatile on guitar and banjo, and Don Bartenstein, who is someone you ought to get in and interview as well. He's an excellent player. There's a whole host of them, and they're pretty much regulars, and sometimes they just sit in while you're playing in an open mic and do some background picking or whatever. It's really kind of fun.
Yeah.
But we're all good friends, and we support each other.
Yeah, that's really cool. Is that most of what you do lately as far as live shows, those kinds of configurations, or do you ever just go out and play solo at this point? Or?
Well, I used to do that.
Yeah.
I used to play gigs. I lived in southern New Hampshire for a long time. I probably played in every place from Hudson to Peterborough along the way on Route 101A.
Yeah.
And I did that for about 20 years.
Yeah.
But in recent years, it's just something I don't want to do anymore. I just enjoy doing open mics where I can go play 4 or 5 tunes. Unless they don't have enough players, then I'll play more. I'll play up to an hour, hour and a half, whatever.
Yeah.
But basically, it's just enjoyable to introduce my material to people at an open mic.
Yeah.
And then sit back and listen to someone else play and enjoy what they've done.
Yeah, that's cool.
But we all write original tunes, which is what I hear. Everybody does covers, but I mean, that's not how you. If you want to be heard, you've got to do your own stuff. Right. And so even if you only write one tune, play it. Right. And people either like it or they won't like it, but you've got to play your own stuff out and not just keep covering everybody that's on the radio. Right. Yeah. Because then you're just a jukebox essentially. If you're basically karaoke. Right. Yeah. Jukebox is a good one. Yeah. Do you do any covers or do you strictly? Sure. No, I do covers because if the audience isn't listening, and the bar's too loud, the restaurant's too loud, that's what they want to hear if you're going to play. Right. But if it's a listening crowd, and a couple of the open mics that we go to, especially the Mill in Bristol, New Hampshire, it's a listening room. They don't really want anybody to talk. Yeah. And so a lot of people do almost all originals. Yeah. And it's a great way to expose your music to different people every week. It's wonderful. I love it. Do you have any idea how many songs you've written? About 120. Yeah. And I've recorded maybe 72. Okay. Because I've done 7 different albums. So yeah. And they're all originals. So is it hard when you go to record? Is it difficult to kind of narrow down? Because I know folks like you tend to have a lot of ideas. You tend to have a lot of songs you're working on probably. So when you go to record, do you say, okay, I've got 20 songs here. I got to pick 10 or 12 or however. How many have you got on here? 9. There's only 9 on this one. Yeah. But, I mean, it's still okay. Some of them are a little bit longer, so it's not so bad. It's still a full-length album, yeah, certainly. No, I never get to the point where I got 20 songs. Yeah. Like right now, I got 4 new ones since this album came out last year. Yeah. And if I were to get another 5 or 6 down, I might consider recording again, but right now I have no plans to do any more. Yeah. But I play the new ones out almost weekly. Yeah. For 2 reasons. One is I'll forget the lyrics if I don't. Yeah. And secondly, I want people to know that I'm still actively writing. Sure. So I mix it with songs off the Death of the Moon album, and now I've gone back to some of my first albums that I've done back in the 1980s and 90s. Wow. And I've picked certain songs that I've always loved, and I've been mix and matching my original material from way back when.
No kidding.
Yeah, this past week I played 3 that I probably haven't played in 20 years.
That's wild.
And I'm surprised I even remembered any of them. So it's kind of fun. It's really fun.
Do you? So how do you do that? Do you pull out the old albums and just kind of go back and relearn them, or do you
Well, I will play a CD in the car if I don't know the lyrics.
Yeah.
But I can come pretty close to actually remembering most of them.
Yeah.
And the ones I don't, I skip or I fake it.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, sometimes you get right in the middle of a song and you're just focused on something else in the room, and all of a sudden you go, what's the third lyric?
Right.
And you go, oh no, I think I better find a word right now.
Right.
And it comes up. And nobody knows the difference.
Right, exactly.
They've never heard the song before.
It's new to them, yeah.
We're the best. Us songwriters in New Hampshire are the best kept secret in New Hampshire. Trust me.
There you go. Yeah. So when you were doing more, playing out more shows where, not the open mics, but it was just you playing, did you tour around or did you stick to this area or what?
Boston probably would be the furthest I would go.
Yeah.
No, I wasn't doing a formal tour.
Yeah.
I have a day job and the day job takes up most of my life. Music, and I also write novels, but music.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, I've got 8 novels that I've written.
Wow.
So I've mixed and matched it. And for a couple of years, I gave up writing songs just to write novels. And I was putting out one a year for a while.
No kidding.
But anyway, to answer your original question, I would wander around. If I went on the road for my day job, I might bring a guitar along and end up sitting in with somebody in that city.
Sure.
At some bar or restaurant and doing a couple of tunes just for fun.
Oh, why not? Yeah.
But I never formally did a tour anywhere.
Yeah.
No.
So how many, you said you've written 8 novels?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Under what name do you write under?
J.P. Polidoro. Yeah.
No kidding.
Yeah, my last name.
What kind of novels?
They are usually medical mysteries because I'm a biologist by training and have my PhD in physiology and animal science.
Yeah.
And so I've done a number of novels, since 1999.
I'll be damned. Oh, wow. Yep. Interesting. I had no idea. Do you...
A lot of other people have no idea either.
Right, yeah. Yeah, because you use a different name, essentially.
Well, here's my mantra. I've had this objective for years, and that is to have one song be recorded by somebody really famous.
Yeah.
Or one novel become a movie.
Yeah.
And that's still my objective.
Yeah.
And I've lucked out in one respect. I had Gordon Lightfoot record one of my songs.
No kidding.
Unfortunately, one of his last albums, he had pretty much completed it. I think he was going to add it to it, but in the end, he just didn't for whatever reason.
Oh, wow.
So it sits in a studio in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada, unfinished.
Have you ever gotten to hear it?
Yeah, he sent me a tape of cassette of him singing my song.
No kidding.
Yeah,
well, at least you have that.
That's Gordon Lightfoot.
It sucks that it wasn't released, but at least you have a copy of it. That's pretty cool.
Hey, this guy only records songs by people like Ian Tyson from Ian and Sylvia from years ago.
Yeah.
Chris Christopherson, Bob Dylan, and a couple of others.
Yeah.
The rest are his own tunes.
Yeah.
And then there's Jack.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's very cool. He did a nice job on it.
Did he? Yeah.
And his wife loved it, his wife at the time.
Yeah.
And it just never got to the album.
Yeah.
If it got on the album, it would have been my 15 minutes of fame.
Yeah. Well, it could still happen.
I don't think he's going to do any more.
Yeah. Well,
no. He's 76 years old.
Is he? Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
But he's still touring. He's still doing about 80 gigs a year.
Good for him.
So my style and my inspiration for songwriting really came from Lightfoot.
No kidding. Yeah. Wow. Huh. So, but I mean, well, when I say it could still happen, though, I mean, somebody else might record something you've done.
Oh, well, I hope so. Yeah. I got plenty of material if they want it.
Yeah.
Just call me.
Now, have any of your novels do you know of any been considered?
There's a screenplay that's been written for one of my novels.
Really?
The name of the novel is Tattoo Incident at the Weirs. It's a murder mystery during Motorcycle Week.
No kidding.
It's fiction.
Yeah.
Nobody's been murdered there.
Yeah.
Yet. No, I'm kidding.
So any tourists listening to this, don't worry. You can still come to Bike Week.
Yeah. All 300,000 of you. No, and actually the novel sells quite well during Bike Week.
Yeah.
But there is an actual screenplay. There is a group in Tilton called the Granite Media Center who would like to do a movie of it, and they hired someone to do a screenplay of the book.
Yeah.
But it also takes quite a bit of money to even do an independent film.
Sure.
And I'm hopeful that in the future that'll happen.
That's really cool. Wow, good for you. Good for you.
Well, we're trying.
Do you kind of prioritize in your mind is one of those careers more important to you than the other at this point?
Yeah, music.
Music is more important.
I actually have a novel that sits in the computer right now at about 141 pages in draft, but it's about 1/3 done.
Yeah.
It's been in there for 2.5 years because I did the new album.
Oh, okay.
And my definite first love is music and songwriting.
Yeah.
And it comes very fast. I can write a song in probably an hour or less, both words and music.
Sure.
Except for the longer songs that might take a few more hours or maybe even modifications over 2 or 3 days.
Yeah.
In general, I can write a song so quick that I can't write it down fast enough with a pen. I mean, the words just fly out of the sky.
Yeah.
And it's the same way with the novel. The whole idea of doing a novel was merely an expansion of writing a ballad. I figured if I could write a ballad, then why can't I write a novel?
Sure.
It's a story of expose and dialogue, right? People, places, and things you describe, and then protagonist versus antagonist. And it's fascinating, but sometimes the ideas come so fast for a chapter that I really can't type fast enough. So I consider that I'm fortunate.
Yeah.
Very fortunate to have that happen.
Absolutely. That's really cool. But you've been playing music longer, right? I mean, your first novel was when?
1999.
Okay, yeah.
My first album was in 1984.
Okay.
So, no, both of them are passions, but I'm really into songwriting.
Yeah. Excellent. Well, why don't we hear another track from Death of the Moon?
Sure.
What would you like to play?
I think on this one we'd probably, I don't know, I'll leave it up to you.
Oh.
Would you rather hear Two Hearts That Were One, which is a pretty ballad, or I Don't Need No Stinking Woman?
I Don't Need No Stinking Woman sounds like it's got some attitude.
It's got some attitude, and that was the favorite in the recording studio. They wanted to make a massive rock version of it, and I said, well, let's do it my way first.
Yeah.
And then you can do what the hell you want with the rest.
All right, well, we got to hear that then.
Yeah, it's a good one. I was kind of in a bad mood that day.
Were you? All right, great. So this is I Don't Need No Stinking Woman from Dr. Jack and his album Death of the Moon here on Local Outbreak.
You got love, you got the time, mind is numb, 'cause I'm not blind. You got things you wanna say to me. You promise you won't run away from me. Oh no. You got love you want to share. Mind is numb, 'cause I'm not there yet. I don't need no stinking woman. I don't need no stinking woman. You got love, I got the time. My mind is numb, 'cause I'm not blind. You got things you wanna say to me. You promise he won't run away from me. Oh no. You got love I don't need. I've played this game before until I bleed. You got things you wanna do to me. You say it's for me and you to share alone. You got love, I got the time. My mind is numb, 'cause I'm not blind. And I don't need no stinking woman. Oh no. No, I don't need no stinking woman right now. I don't need no stinking woman right now. I don't need no stinking woman. No, no, no. No, no, no. No, no, no.
Local Outbreak on IPM Nation. This is Matt from IPM Nation. We're at the studio. Want to remind everybody before we finish off the show, of course, the studio is at 50 Canal Street in downtown Laconia. Please support your local businesses as well as the local music scene. Come shop at the studio. TheStudioNH.com is the website if you want to check it out online. Of course, we're also sponsored by Central NH Events. Go to centralnhevents.com if you need someone to DJ your event, your shindig, your hootenanny, whatever it may be. And, of course, Matt Marcil from Tweak Sound and Mastering, tweaksound.com. If you need some recording done, he does a phenomenal job engineering, producing. He's a fantastic musician as well, and one of the smartest people I know, tweaksound.com. He's right in Concord, New Hampshire. And, of course, our new IPM Nation live channel launches this week at IPMNation.com, and that is sponsored by John Heichel at Uptown Auto Repair in Manchester, New Hampshire. It's the only place I take my car. John's the only mechanic I trust. So Uptown Auto Repair in Goffstown, more specifically, actually. And our guest this week, of course, is Dr. Jack. And Jack, before we talk about the last song that we're going to play, and I know you have some interesting backstory on that, but where should people go to find you online who want to keep up on what you're doing?
I have a website which is longtailpublishing.com.
Okay.
And it's LONGTAIL Publishing.com, one word. Longtail is the bird of Bermuda, and I go to Bermuda on vacation.
Oh, nice.
And I just decided to name both my my novel and music company, so to speak.
Okay.
For the bird.
Okay.
Of Bermuda.
Okay. So are all your albums available online, or?
Well, there's synopsises of them. I mean, they probably would contact me, and the contact information is there.
Okay.
To get it directly from me.
Yeah.
So I stock them and can mail them out as soon as someone is interested.
Okay. The same thing with your novels, or?
Well, I have 3 novels that I've got stocked at home, but then I switched over to a different publishing company, which is print on demand, and people can find the other 6 or so books online on Amazon or Barnes and Noble, or they're even in ebook form. So
great.
There's soft cover or 6x9 inch, which is a very, very common book format today, or you can get them as an ebook.
Okay.
The earlier novels, which I stock, and I have quite a few in my garage, they don't exist as ebooks. It was a different publisher at the time.
Yeah. We should, for anyone too who wants to look for your novels on Amazon or wherever, we should probably spell your last name so they can find you.
Sure, it's Polidoro. It's Polidoro.
Okay, excellent. And tell us about this last track that we're going to play. This is the one that your daughter did?
My daughter Stephanie's at the University of Vermont, but when she was 13 years old, she wrote a piano tune that I thought the melody was so beautiful that when I was doing the album, I asked her, would you like to see what it takes to make a record?
Yeah.
And she agreed to do it. And she did a great job of playing a grand piano at Rocking Horse Studios. And the name of the song is Speranza, which means hope. Mm-hmm. And it's just this beautiful tune that I've always wanted to add lyrics to it. And I did say to her, what do you think? It's your song, but what do you think if I add some lyrics? And she quickly said no. And I said, what do you think if I just do a reverse roll on the guitar and add a little backtrack to it? She said no. But we did get a couple of the musicians in Rocking Horse to add a bowed bass, which sounds like a cello.
Okay.
And some strings that were synthesized. The only synthesized track on the whole album were the strings that they added to her song.
Oh, okay.
And it came out stunningly beautiful.
Yeah.
People really like it.
But you haven't convinced her to, as you say, let go of the music.
Yeah, well, she hasn't learned that yet.
Yeah.
She did. Well, in a way, she learned it because I said, you got to put a bass track on there, and she went off in the back of the studio and was talking to Joey Piraz, who is a Berkeley grad and the bass player, and they hashed out the arrangement.
Oh, okay.
I just sat in the control room and just let them do their thing.
Yeah.
It was her song. She produced it.
Yeah.
In the end, she was totally happy with the mix, and it was beautiful.
Do you think in the future you'll get to play together on a track, or is there something else that you've recorded together?
When we go to open mics, there's 2 songs, one by Elton John, Your Song, and then a famous old Scottish song called Wild Mountain Time, or I forgot the other name. But anyway, Go Maggie Go or something like that. Yeah. And we do that. She sings it and I play it. But it's not too often because she's away at school in Vermont. Yeah. But she's got a sweet voice, very angelic.
Does she intend to pursue a recording career? Do you know? Or
no, she's very much into music, and she hasn't indicated that. She's always playing the piano. Yeah. So I think she'll be writing a lot of songs. Yeah, cool. In the future,
it's in the genes.
She's only 19, so she's got a ways to go.
Right. Well, so we'll play that to finish off the show. Jack, thank you so much for being here. This has been really cool.
Well, thank you. I really appreciate the invite.
Absolutely. The album is called Death of the Moon. And what's the name of the track? Speranza? How much?
Speranza, which means hope in Italian.
All right. Very good. And this is Speranza. Again, this is from Dr. Jack's album, Death of the Moon. This is his daughter, Stephanie, performing on this track. And that's it. We'll talk to you all next week. Thanks, Jack.
Thank you.
IPMNation.com.